Not sure if that means I'm live or not. Okay, just doing a quick test here. And let's see. Okay, I'm not sure how I know if it is or not. This is all new to me. Okay. Hey, yep, there we go. If I go to my home page, let me see here. Let's bring this over here. And we'll maximize that. Let's make this work and control everything in one spot. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of little things to figure out with this. So let's see, if I go to my Evergreen growth journey here, I can show, and look at there, right there on top, there is welcome to our live show. So that looks like I'm live. I know I said I was going to go live at midnight, but just wanted to play around with it and see if this works. Okay, this seems good. Not expecting anybody to join. I didn't realize I was going to do this until the last minute. But I did notice that I got an 8th subscriber again. So I have an 8th subscriber. Woohoo! Every subscriber matters. Okay. I've got my channel going. See, I'm not sure with the live streaming over here. I think I started trying to do it with the with an encoder. I don't think I need to do that though. I don't know. Let's see. Let's test it out. If I open this in a new tab, well, look at there. Yeah, let's try this. Let's test it out. If I open this the video in the video new tab, it gets a little crazy there. Okay. Well, look at there. Okay. Yeah, let's try this. Let's test it out. If I open this the video in the video new tab, it gets a little crazy there. Okay. Well, look at there. Okay. Yeah, let's try this. Let's test it out. If I open the video in the video new tab. Okay, let's stop sharing. Okay. And now it's just back to me. No sharing. Okay. Let's see how long it takes for this to... Well, yeah, I can't watch that. But it is good to see that it is live. Okay, and there is a little studio dashboard so you can see the live stream. Right now there's no data. Current views doesn't show anything. Okay. I think what I need to do, if I can, is mute this one. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this has the chat over here. So if anybody does chat, it's going to share all of it. Okay. And since I'm going through Riverside, it has another interface over here where it's supposed to be collecting all the chat. Okay, let's do a little test here. Okay, so if I put that there, that shows up. So welcome to the live stream. Okay, and I'm looking at my video here. Okay, and it did show. There we go. There's a little lag to it, but it did show up. So I have Evergreen Growth Journey. Welcome to the live stream. It showed up. Okay, so now that I know that goes there, I don't want to keep this open. And it does show one watching in this, which I'm assuming is me. Okay, yeah, sorry for the little pauses here. I'm trying to figure all this out. Yeah, I'm closing that window because hearing myself a few seconds behind is really throwing me off. So I'm not actually focused on the live stream. I'm focused on making sure the live stream is working. But that's part of the reason why I'm doing this first one is to figure things out. Let's see. Well, right now it shows one person, but I think that's me. And if I go over here, let's try this. I'm going to close out the dashboard. I'm going to go back to there. No, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It doesn't really show me anything within this view. Let's see if I do a refresh on that page. Will it pick anything up? And I think this is all for doing an encoder. Let's see if I go through webcam. I don't want to do that, but that would be if I wanted to do it directly from YouTube. Yeah, we'll just get back out of that. I think since I'm using Riverside, it does all the behind the scenes stuff for me. I mean, I've definitely got a live stream going. So I think I'm good. And the nice thing with Riverside is it has like all the chat integrated. If you do this across multiple, like if you're doing Twitch and everything else, it's going to show up there. You can put all of your chat into this one place. Makes it a lot easier in theory. I don't know, I still need all this, so kind of hypothetical at this moment. All right, so let's see here. What do I need to do so that this is going to show up? Okay, cool. Got a couple of extra views there. Yeah, there's things that I had. I have made a list of things, and I've got it like on the back of my camera. So as I'm looking at the camera, I can kind of check my notes for things I wanted to go through in the live stream. Since this is my first live stream, yeah, there's so much I'm learning through the process. I'll get distracted by that. I apologize up front. I'm trying to stay focused on the list of things that I wanted to cover during this live stream, but I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm thinking I will edit this, so hopefully there's content that I can use to make other videos. I'm not sure exactly how a live stream goes to my channel. I don't know if it's just an automatic thing where it just makes it available after the live stream ends. What I was planning to do is with Riverside, you can make a clean copy of it. You can pull out like they call them magic clips. So it'll automatically, through the AI, it will find parts of your video and it'll produce shorts. It'll produce shorter videos. So like if this goes for an hour, it'll produce several like 3 to 4 minute, or I can tell it what I want it to do and it'll go through the video and it'll find it. There's a lot of nice tools within Riverside. I'm not trying to sell you on the Riverside thing, but it is an affiliate link. I'm not sponsored or anything. Still learning that process. But since it requires 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to get monetized, figure that's going to take several months when I'm only at 8 subscribers. I was at 7 this morning. I was at 8 yesterday, so a little up and down. But let's see. I can actually see a notification. Well, I had a notification earlier. I think if I go to my actual channel and look at that. So Chris Vandergriff joined 40 minutes ago. Before that, Dustin Curtis, he's family. I think my wife told them that I was starting an LLC, which I'll talk more about later. But I think when she was telling him that, he decided that he would take a look at the channel. So a few of my views are him, and then he did subscribe. But he's actually probably the closest family member I have that would be part of my target audience. Um, that's one of the big things with YouTube, and yeah, I guess that kind of starts my first topic with just kind of going through my first month. I'm still doing a lot of research. I hadn't planned to make a YouTube channel until we were coming back from South Carolina after the holidays, and I was trying to look for something I could do to just create an additional revenue stream, make some extra money. I'm planning to move to South Carolina to be a farmer in 3 years. Um, Getting closer to family, we're going to get some property. Want to take advantage of the tax benefits of having a farm. So they were thinking of getting a few animals, raising a couple of things, just to have enough to count. But through the pandemic, I played a lot of Farming Simulator 19. Got the heavy machinery bundled, had the steering wheel and the gas pedals and everything. So that was kind of my second life through the pandemic, and I've played every Farming Simulator game. Um, I know it's not the same thing, but it's created this seed in me that's been growing ever since, that I want to be a farmer. I've always thought, I want to change careers at some point. I'm 52 years old now, so if I'm going to change careers, I need to do it soon. So the goal is I'm going to retire at 55 in a little bit less than 3 years. And then when we move to South Carolina, I will hopefully have a little bit of income, so a nice cushion just to have something coming in while I'm setting up my farm. I'm planning on having, crops and animals and bees. I'm looking forward to having bees and doing stuff with the honey and just lots of different things, learning all kind of new skills. And that's kind of what prompted this channel is, yeah, I have all these things I want to learn. If I'm going to be a farmer, there's all the skills I need to know for that. But it's not just those skills, it's things I've always wanted to do. Like right now, for example, one of my February skills is I'm doing axe throwing and knife throwing. I'm setting up a target. I'm practicing that every day, and I'm getting better each day. I'm still not anywhere close to good. Can't be consistent with it, but I can get them in the boards eventually. So I'm having fun with it. I just got some tools that was on the video before when I was announcing this live stream, and I'm planning to get out there in the garage tomorrow and build this target that's from plans that are actually from the World Axe Throwing League. So, I mean, these are like official, the correct size and, the way you should build it so that you have a legit target to throw at. So I'm having just tons of fun doing that. It's something different. My wife thinks I'm going through a midlife crisis or I've lost my mind, and maybe I have for a little bit, but it's much better than going out and getting a sports car or doing something like really crazy and cliche. With this, I'm actually doing something that's got me positive, and I'm in a really good place right now, which after this last year, that's saying a lot. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story, a little bit of why I started the channel. For the Evergreen growth journey, that was kind of, you have to have a niche for your channel, or a niche. I don't know. I always said niche, but now it's niche because that's the way it's pronounced by, I guess, everybody in this century. So the niche for my channel is learning skills and having that continual growth through your life, trying new things, and then sharing that journey with everybody else. That growth journey, you're improving your skills. And the Evergreen is, I'd watched a video by Rob the Maritimer. There's several YouTube creators that I've been following a lot lately. Rob the Maritimer, Kevin Colby, and old Mike, 82-year-old guy that has a YouTube channel. And, if he can do it at 82, I can do it at 52. So he's a real inspiration, and I just love his videos. So yeah, with the Evergreen, he was explaining the difference between a viral video and an evergreen video. And everybody hears about viral videos. It's that one that millions of people watch and makes you YouTube famous, but an evergreen video is one that endures over time. It's going to have steady growth. It's always going to be something that's worth watching, either for entertainment or education, or some other thing that makes it have value over time. I mean, it might be a how-to. It might be just an interesting thing that you did that gets referenced, and people keep going back and watching it. I know there's gaming videos that I go back and rewatch all the time. They're just well made, entertaining, and it's kind of like watching a movie that just it's comfort kind of things. So I want to make those evergreen kind of videos, the ones that just people watch them over time. I mean, it's always going to be watched. I don't know exactly what all those will be, but that will come in time. I'm developing the skills now so that when I have the ideas, I can make those videos. And I really want to establish a community. Part of why I wanted to do this channel is when I do the farming, is not just I want to have a field and a pen with some animals and that kind of thing. I want it to be a way that I can reach out to the community. I want to tie into the local schools, have like educational things, teach them, hey, you can grow your own crops, you can eat healthy, you can, be close to nature and be able to share that experience with younger children, with adults, with anybody. I think I mentioned in one of my videos is, anybody can grow their own food if they have, a little open space in their backyard. They have a deck. They can do some container plants. If they have a window with some sunlight, they could, have something growing, flowers or, some herbs or something. So, I mean, it's open to everybody. So it's kind of taking that new skill that I'm learning, sharing it with others, but also all the other skills that I want to learn. So it's just trying to establish a community. And I think that as I do this, I think there are chances to produce revenue. I mean, it's not the main reason why I'm doing it, but if I can make income with this, then it'll help me to interact more with the community. I mean, it'll give me funds to, donate to good causes, to, I don't know, be able to build a business that hires people, employs people. So, I mean, there's a lot of positive things that can come from all of this, but it's going to take time. I don't have these skills. It's kind of like the farming. I've never, well, I've made one video, and my son will hate me if I mention it really, but my daughter and son were young and they were going to kindergarten, and I did like a pirate and princess video. He'll probably never let me share that, but I love that video. So proud of that. It was so much fun. But yeah, that experience and being able to produce something that I can share with the world. I mean, that's just, we were in South Carolina over the holidays, and I saw this stage at this place we went. It's kind of like a modular place where you go eat. It's almost like a bunch of food truck kind of things, but with an area that, I don't know, it's like an open area where everybody can sit kind of thing. And there's like a stage. And I asked my wife, hey, like when you see a stage like that, do you feel like this urge to get up on the stage? And she's like, no, that's weird. But for me, I've always felt that, it's, I've memorized poems or, things. And it's like, if I got up on the stage, I would have something to say. Nobody would want to hear it necessarily, but I would feel free to get up there and just be myself and share something. So on that day, it was the weirdest thing. And it wasn't anything I planned, but I went up on the stage and there were some like big Lego kind of blocks. And so I started playing with my niece's son. And then before we were done, we had like a dozen kids up on that stage, just building stuff with me, and we were making little bridges with them. They were walking across like a balance beam. I mean, they were building little structures and playing with them. And so I was entertaining like a dozen kids up on this stage, just having a blast. The parents were all enjoying it. I mean, people were taking pictures, and it was just like one of those spontaneous moments that I will never forget. So just, I don't know. I think it's just being open to those types of experiences. In one of my previous jobs, we had a quarterly meeting where we would invite in lots of different people, And the previous lead for the team left, and so they were looking for somebody to MC this event. And so I got volunteered. I'm not quite sure, but I really miss that. You take those personality tests and all that kind of thing, and most people working in my field are probably considered introverts. I'm working in cybersecurity, so computer geek kind of things. But taking this personality test, it turns out I'm an extrovert. My wife still doesn't believe that one either. But yeah, it's this side of me right now where it's like I know somebody may watch this someday, even if nobody's watching right now. And I don't know. I haven't really looked at the analytics. I don't know if anybody is. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Well, it has no data. I have no idea. Well, if I look at it through Riverside, I don't see anybody there. And let's see, I'm going to have the noise again. Let's open that in another window. Sorry for the pause. Okay. Well, it looks like it is still streaming, so I'll be producing the video that will be on the channel later. This is so crazy. Okay. Let's see. Let's open that just so I've got it. I don't know if it'll have any data, but I'll go ahead and at least open it. Okay. So like I was saying, with the first month stuff, one of the things I was going to share is just my analytics from the first month. I'm probably not the typical YouTuber starting out. I don't know what the typical YouTuber is, but I don't think it's me. So if I share my dashboard, let me do that real quick. Actually, let me change the layout here, and I'll do this view and then share my channel dashboard. Yep. Okay. So when you create your YouTube channel, you have access to this dashboard. I guess anybody has this, but most people probably never really look at it if all you're doing is watching videos. So this is one of those pages. This is the dashboard, so it's not the one that the analytics one that you kind of obsess over. This one kind of shows you, I don't know, just a general view of your channel's health at the moment. It's like it shows the latest video and how that ranks compared to my other ones. I've gotten 5 views from that one, but I think 2 of them may have been me. Because I went in there and I made a comment. So at least one of the views is me. I think the other 4 are other people. One of them was the new subscriber, most likely. So one of the big things is your click-through rate. You want, when it does impressions, you want people to actually go on and watch your videos. So that's where the thumbnail and the title and, getting people to at least click on the video and watch it for a few seconds so that it counts as a view. I think 30 seconds is how long they have to watch. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's different metrics. I still haven't figured it all out. But 1% sounds horrible, but that's actually not too bad. I mean, I think really good is around 5 or 6%. And then the average view time is pretty good there. So I mean, that's I think a 5.5 minute video. So on average, about half of it's being watched. Oh, and it's like I have a comment. Yeah, I won't go to that right now, but I am trying to respond to all the comments on the channel, especially while I'm small enough that it's doable. I mean, if the channel gets large at some point, maybe that won't be so achievable, but I don't know when that'll happen. So if you make a comment, I'm going to respond. Okay, so I see some other stuff here. Published videos. I was saying I'm probably not typical because I made the goal that I was going to release at least 1 video a day for my first month. My first video I put out on the 12th, so that was going to be 20 videos. Officially, I had 19 videos at the end of January, but I also had 4 shorts and 7 unlisted videos. So I went way beyond the 20 that was my goal. But just on if you just look at my page, you saw 19. So it's like I just missed it, but no, I far exceeded that. The unlisted ones were part of a choose your own adventure. So I didn't want you to be able to click directly onto those. I wanted you to make a choice at the end of the video, and you kind of find your path based on clicking on those. I just thought it was a really cool idea. I came up with that, figured out a way to kind of branch the story between videos, and I don't know, filmed it, edited everything, and got them all out on YouTube within 24 hours. That was just like the coolest thing. Come up with it's like, it's probably not an original idea, but it's something I had never seen on YouTube. But yeah, that was so much fun. That was the best time. But yeah, I'm loving those types of experiences just in this first month. But yeah, I put my first video out on the 12th. I created my channel on the 7th. I think I decided to do it on the 3rd. So, I mean, it was a pretty tight timeline from, hey, I'm going to make a YouTube channel to I have a YouTube channel. Oh no, I've got to make a video. And it took me a few days to get that video because I was practicing. I wrote a script. And when you're trying to be authentic and look at a camera and talk to a camera, you keep wanting to look at the script. And if you look at the script, then you're reading the script and you don't sound natural. You sound like somebody who's just narrating a story, reading a page. And it's not authentic, which was kind of the goal. It was just boring and nobody would ever want to watch it. I mean, it wasn't me that you were watching. It was me reading something that I wrote. It didn't feel right. So, I mean, I just kept practicing it and trying to get good at it, almost memorizing it, but that didn't work. And then I finally just like, I give up. I'm running out of time. So I took a bath. I was getting ready for the next day, finished the bath, and it's like, okay, I made all these practice videos. I could make a playlist and I could post one of those each day for the first week while I'm working. I just need an intro video for that. So it took the pressure off. I wasn't making a big welcome video. I was doing hey, I'm new to YouTube. Here's some of my practice videos. Here's what my channel means to me. And stick with me. Give it a chance. I'm learning new skills. I'm not good at this yet, but I will be someday. I'm worth watching and joining the channel. And it just felt so amazing. I got a video out. I probably got it out quicker than I should because I don't think I had a chance to process it very well. So I didn't expect any review. I didn't expect any viewers or anything, but that was the best video that I've released yet as far as community involvement. I had more comments on that one. I got a subscriber who, she had a channel. So I looked at her channel, watched some of her videos, and then I responded back because she was very nice in the comment that she had made. I mean, it was kind of the, respecting a fellow, new YouTuber, small channel kind of thing. And just the support from that first subscriber was amazing. So, yeah, that was just the best start to a YouTube channel. I mean, I felt like I already had a community from the first video. And it was just nice going in and making comments, responding to things. And then I didn't get any comments after that video. Well, no, I take that back. She did do the choose your own adventure and she really enjoyed that. And she left some comments, but she's most of my comments I've gotten so far. You can see her there, Olive Do above. She's the first subscriber. Yeah, it's one of those interesting things when you look at the dashboard, you have your subscribers, but if you do the see all, you only see the ones that have, I don't know, I guess, I don't even remember this as a setting, but you can make it so that you're not, it's like it's private who you subscribe to. So unless people make that public, it won't show up here on this list for me. It's like the new one that just got added. I saw it in a notification, but it doesn't show up here. So maybe that one will show up later. I'm not sure. Like I said, still figuring all this out. Yeah, that's one of the things with this channel is just because it's like a learning skills thing, I'm not an expert. I mean, I've got things I've done through my career and through my life that I'm good at, but I don't claim to be an expert at anything I'm doing on this channel. This is all new skills for me with the videoing and the marketing side of it, the video editing. There's so many things to learn with this, and that's what I'm really loving about it. is there's something new to learn constantly. I'm staying up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning because I'm just having so much fun. It's not that I'm working hard. I'm loving this. This just feels like the thing I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, I know I'm rambling and I don't really have any viewers. So this is mostly just for me anyway. This is good practice talking. I get to use my Blue Yeti. I'm that is so cool. I have a Yeti. All right. Yeah, I've wanted one of these things for years, but I wasn't going to do it until I had done a YouTube channel for at least a month, and I finally hit that mark. And that's a goal I set, I don't know, over a decade ago. Yeah. So I finally got rewarded for a decade of putting this off and then getting it all done in a month, less than a month. Okay. So let me, since I'm on the analytics, that was actually the second thing that I had on my note card here. So you see, this is the video that I most recently put out. It actually has a comment that's mine, and yeah, I think that's what it is. If I do the see comment, I'm going to see my comment. Okay, yeah. So I see my comment. You see I had a filter on there. So if I responded to it, it won't show up when I go to this page. That's so, it just makes it to where there's new comments in my videos. I can go in and just respond to those. It's just a nice way to organize it instead of having to go video by video. But yeah, that's the one time I watched it there, and then I made a comment. Okay. And then latest post, it shows you your latest post. So this is more just my kind of things, the things I've done. And then if I go to the analytics, this is kind of how my channel's doing. So my goal for the first month was to get 100 views because I didn't expect people to watch my videos. And it's been a slow growth. If I go to the see more and look at it for a longer period, this is the last 28 days, which my channel is only about 28 days old. I guess slightly more than that. Yeah, because I started on the 7th, but I didn't have any activity until the 12th. So the active period for my channel is still less than 28 days. So this really is the lifetime of my channel at this point. But in that time, I've gotten 891 views. And this number, it's not real time. So this will update, sometime, every 24 hours. I haven't figured out exactly when it updates. Because unless you do a refresh, you don't see it update live. This part right here is the only live part. So the 8 subscribers, 36 views, and it shows the last 48 hours. So I can see, people have watched videos. Most of this was me because I was doing some analysis on my videos and putting in comments and doing the pinned comments. One of the how-to YouTube videos that I had watched was going through the things you should do to promote your videos. Well, not in the paid promotion kind of thing, but the things you should do to give your viewers more chances to be engaged. And one of them is pin a comment there so that you're welcoming them, you're thanking them for watching, and you're asking for them to. It's kind of like the call to action thing is for them to do something after they read your comment. And mine are mostly leave a comment. I'm curious. I want your feedback. And I want to respond to comments. The whole goal of this is to learn new skills and to grow. And if I don't get feedback, I'm kind of, I don't know, growing in a bubble. It's my own feedback, and I don't know if that's valid or not because, like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm new to all this. So let's see some other stuff on here. This is kind of a repeat of the first one. And then this is my top content. And you see, this is the one that was my biggest so far. I mean, this is vastly beyond everything else on my channel. I had this other one that was kind of a clickbaity kind of thing to try to get people to do my choose your own adventure. That was 58. So that was my highest before the other one. And then I did another one with Canva, testing out some skills with Canva. And that turned out pretty well. I like how that one was. It was an evening of just playing around with it. And you see it got a really nice response. But it was, temporary. It didn't last very long for both of those. And this one, it got that 550 views, and I did it like late at night. Uh, yeah, I probably shouldn't be doing all of my stuff at like midnight, 2 a.m., that kind of thing. I should probably just schedule it for the next day when more people are actually online and active. In theory, I don't know. I don't know when everybody's most active. I figured during daylight hours, but you figure different time zones, and I don't know when it actually sends your stuff, international for different time zones outside the U.S. Um, but yeah, that it had like 530, 540 before I went to bed. And I was like, oh, this could be so exciting. I'm gonna get up in the morning. There's gonna be like thousands of views. No, I got like, 10 more views and then it stopped. So when you have those shorts and it goes into that shorts feed, unless it hits the right criteria for it to continue putting your short out there, it seems like it's only going to get attention for a very small period. I think once there's more viewers more subscribers for my channel and more of a target audience that sees these things, there'll be a more continuous kind of viewing. It won't be so short lived, but it seems like most of the shorts view period is in the first hour. After that, I haven't really gotten much, and I'll get an occasional viewer so far for these, but still are just going up every time it refreshed. Let's see. Hey, this is my first video. This is what I was talking about, where I just made a video. I just had to get something out there, and it's actually gotten like my highest views for a video. These are all shorts, which tend to get higher views, but the requirements just insane for shorts. To qualify for the monetization, you have to like 1 million views or something like that. So most people probably get it with their videos or long form videos. You can see I've got several videos I made, just different little series. I've got everything in a playlist, just trying to organize things. The Journey with Me is one of those choose your own adventure videos. It's unlisted. You start with the choose your own adventure starts now, that one right there. Well, since I've hit the dashboard and analytics, the other one is that I look at all the time is the content, because this is kind of your organizing all of your videos part of YouTube Studio. So here I can see all of my videos, the public, the private, the unlisted, all of them show up here. So you can see I've been busy in my first month. These are all videos that I have uploaded to YouTube in my first month. I'm like I said, I'm just having so much fun with it. Most of these are fairly short. I've got 2 here that are, well, this one is still a private one. That was the raw footage, but I'm kind of hanging on to that one in the private playlist for now. I've got, yeah, this one here, when I was building a grow house. It's sitting on the little workbench over in front of my desk here. I talked to the camera for about an hour, trimmed it down to about 48 minutes. And then I had another one where I was planting seedlings. Yeah, during the process, I learned that my camera will fill up with video, and once it does that, it won't record anymore. And then, yeah, I start having issues. It shuts off, and so I was telling stories and then losing the stories and losing some of the continuity for doing the build. Where I had to like explain what I did because I didn't have video for it anymore. Because if I didn't pay attention, it would just stop, and if I didn't see the screen, which like I'm looking at the computer monitor, I'm not looking at the camera, so I didn't notice it. But I do have the back of the camera facing me now, which is really nice. I finally figured that out. So I have 2 longer videos. So if people watch that, then I get a lot more, watch hours from that than I do from like the 5-minute videos. So I'm trying to do a mix of those. This will be a longer video, but I don't know how long. I'm probably going to trim it down, edit some of this out, because I am mostly rambling. I mean, I have some topics, but nobody's watching, and I'm just having fun talking. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like there should be some way I could tell through YouTube how this works. Let's see if I open it in a tab. Let's see. Let's see. While I'm looking at my page here, and let me go ahead and share that again because it's kind of fun. Oh, I can just yeah. If you have a browser open with multiple tabs, you can just say
Open it in a
share
tab.
this tab instead.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Looking
While
at
I'm
my
looking
page.
at my page here, and let me go ahead and share that again because it's kind of fun.
Okay.
Oh, I can just yeah. If you have a browser open with multiple tabs, you can just say
Open it in a
share
tab.
this tab instead.
Okay, there we go. It finally caught up. Sorry,
So-
that was some weird lag there as it was doing the nested.
Let's see.
Okay,
While I'm looking at my page here, and let me go ahead and share that again because it's kind of fun.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am doing a
a
headset.
Yeah,
if you have a
doing the
browser open with
earbuds,
multiple tabs, you can
that was
just say,
recommendation
open it
is
in a
do
tab,
wired
this tab
earbuds
instead.
Okay, there we go.
through
It finally
the,
caught up.
the
Sorry,
microphone
that was
itself.
some weird lag there as it was doing the nested.
Yeah, that's a little too tricky with it sharing that way. But you can see the chat is there, but there's nobody using the chat.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am doing a headset.
Okay,
Yeah, if you have a browser,
I'm gonna stop sharing.
okay, now I've got nested me talking. Okay, and I'll just watch them go away. And I'll just get back to full screen. Okay, and I do have one viewer now that I have that open. Okay. All right. That's clean again. Yeah, the video's caught up to where it's just me in the little circle. I haven't gone full screen yet. Okay, it just went full screen. Okay. All right, so now I do know that if I look over here on the riverside, I will see one viewer. Okay, so I can close that. And now it's back to just me once it registers that that viewer is no longer there. Okay. Let's see. I will share this back out. Go back to the analytics here and share that. And let's change the view so I'm still there on the corner. There's also an option here where I can do picture in picture, which puts me there. So you have a taller kind of mobile phone view, or I can do the wide, but this feels like a lot of wasted space on the screen. So I don't really like that one as much. Yeah, why don't we do this one for a little change now? And then it actually looks like I'm looking away. So yeah, that's one of those, if I want to look like I'm looking at that, it looks like I'm looking opposite of where you're looking. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, we'll go back to this one. You actually see more of the screen that way, even though it's a widescreen monitor, so you don't see anything on most of the screen over here. All right, so yeah, if I click there, it moves my mouse. Okay, good. Well, it looks like the video's gotten 37 views, so someone else has watched it since we started this live stream. Okay. So yeah, community, this is where I get a chance, like it's the unresponded. So I get a chance to go in and look at those. Yeah, I was looking at some of these other settings, but I think I might just make a different video instead of going through all of that now. I was going to go through how to actually set up a YouTube channel, but I think I'll make a separate video later. It's already 12:30. There's no one watching. So this is really just me having fun. I can do that tomorrow when I'm more awake. I'm going to end up getting silly just being tired doing this. But again, so much fun. I'm loving this. Okay. Since I've got that, kind of hit the analytics part of it, which was my note, I was going to touch on some of the skills. So let's see, we'll share that instead here. Tools and skills. There's a lot of tools that I've been using on this, first month learning how to YouTube. One of those that has been huge is vidIQ, and I've gone through that one some in the video I made while I was editing the video that I released prior to the live stream. Meta, I know I had fun this evening. So I'm going to share this one. This is the vidIQ homepage that I've got going right now. I do have them as an affiliate link. I don't know that I make much commission off that because it's mostly a free thing unless you pay for some of the extras. I think I did do that. Anyway, so this homepage, you can see my subscribers and views, which doesn't exactly match what's in my analytics page. So I'm not sure how it draws that number. I don't know if I do an update, will it? Okay, yeah, so now it shows the 8. So it does have a little lag to it, but it does catch up eventually. And you see you get little trophies. You'll get, a message here that's, yay, you got 800 views, and it has my logo on there. It's what you use as your image for your channel. So it's really nice getting those. I mean, I love PlayStation trophies, trying to get platinums. My son hates it because I have way more platinums than he does. And he's like, as long as you keep playing video games, I'm never going to catch up. So maybe if I'm doing a YouTube channel, I won't be playing video games because I haven't played nearly as much. I haven't had time. I did change my personal channel to a gaming channel and did a couple of broadcasts with my brother-in-law and his cousin that we play together sometimes. So I will do that occasionally, and I think I want to edit some of those videos and do broadcasts and just have fun with that one. A chance to learn some different skills than what I'm doing on this channel. But yeah, there's trophies that you get. It gives you some clipping opportunities. So this is something that kind of popped up on there recently, like in the last few days. It'll make clips for your long form videos, like your longer ones. Like this one isn't that long. This is only like 6 minutes long. But it came up with some clips. So far, there haven't been any of the clips that I've really like. It was either it didn't fit into a short format kind of thing, or the way it cut the wide video into a tall video, it didn't fit right, or it chose a weird section to do so that it didn't have a clear ending and beginning kind of thing. But I think it's an AI thing that they're testing out. I have the same thing through Riverside, where it's actually really good at it. It'll do like these magic clips. You give it a video and it's going to produce some like wide format ones and some tall ones. And it's actually pretty good because it does a script and it also does a summary. So it'll treat a video like it was a podcast, and it'll give it chapters, and it'll, break out, you actually see the transcript, and you can edit by the transcript, which is really cool. So if there's actually a part on there as well that you can use AI to get rid of all your ands and ums and long pauses, and you can make your video more concise and, I don't know, viewer friendly. So yeah, I'm not sure where I was going with that. Just kind of going through some of the tools and what I'm learning from them. As many as I can. I am signing up for their affiliate program, and you'll notice in my descriptions that I've started putting those links in there. If people click on those, I'll earn a commission. I don't know. It's a way to earn some revenue. It's not saying that, hey, I'm really trying to sell that or market you to go use this product, but I'm sharing what I've learned. I wouldn't put it there if I didn't find it useful. I wouldn't be signing up for an affiliate program and promoting something that I wasn't using myself or seeing some value from. So yeah, take advantage of those. They do come with a discount. Not selling you on them. Just it is a good deal. That's how I've signed up for them, because like I mentioned, the Kevin Colby and Rob the Maritimer and Old Mike, they'll have those types of links on there, and that's how I've gotten some of the discounts to get some of the tools that I'm using. Pretty good discounts. So all that said, there's a lot of tools for YouTube and a lot of skills to develop. Some of that is figuring out, there's a lot of new terminology, and I'm probably going to make a video at some point, like the new YouTubers, video to understanding all the new terms, because you have like the search engine optimization, which a lot of people have heard, SEO and that kind of thing. You've got your click-through ratio. You've got all these different terms that only apply to social media and YouTube. And it's a learning process. I mean, it's the new terminology when you start any job. So one of the things that helps me with that is vidIQ, because they're a good analytical side of YouTube, which really appeals to me because I love big data sets and doing like in-depth analysis and the attention to detail and just trying to find things in the data that other people don't notice. So this one gives me a chance to do that when I'm creating a video. So like, well, this one, I don't know, it's my first live stream, so I am not used to it doing this. That's kind of cool. Yes, right now the thumbnail for that, I guess it's choosing the latest, or it's pulling pretty close to what I just did. So yeah, I'll tweak all that later. But for like the one that I made earlier, I went through the whole process using Riverside, which is amazing. That I'm loving that for doing the actual live streaming. It does podcast. Like I said, it's got the AI. It'll produce those magic clips. So Riverside is one that I'm definitely going to keep using. I'm definitely signing up for the subscription for that one. And the nice thing with the affiliate links is if a few people actually purchase it as well based on my recommendations to use it, then if enough people sign up for themselves, I get a commission. Then those users are helping me to pay for my subscription to the tool. I mean, it's kind of making money to pay for the expenses of running the channel, because this is like invaluable for being able to produce the content. It makes it so much quicker and easier. And it's producing higher quality video than I would make on my own with, no skills, no training, learning this on the fly. So I guess that's promoting it, but it's true. It's not me making up stuff. I'm just talking about the things that I've found of value so far. But yeah, so like for that live stream, I'll go through it and I'll probably put a video out. But you see, this one is it watches my videos and it has enough footage of me that the AI that it generates, if I go here and make a new thumbnail, I can generate with likeness, and the edit is you give it an image, like a picture of your face, and then it can make these amazing things like the expressions. I just love clicking on this thing. It's like a character creation on a video game. I just love pressing this and seeing what I get, because some of them are just so hilarious. Some of them, they've given me like massive muscles working out when I did the working out video. I mean, just lots of crazy stuff. One of them, I had an extra right arm. I mean, it's just weird stuff because AI can kind of go down some weird paths when it's making these, but it ends up producing really good thumbnails that I wouldn't have been able to produce on my own. I mean, I'd just be doing a screen grab from one of my videos and putting a couple of words on it and hoping that was good. This actually gives you a score for each of these based on all of these criteria. I mean, this is all the stuff that it considers when it's making a thumbnail, and then it rates how well it does. So if I uploaded one, or whatever I have it set as my thumbnail on my video in YouTube, like if I'm in the YouTube like creator, the details for that video, if I post one there, or if it's the automatic generated one, because it gives you like 3 options where it just pulls a random like screen grab from your video. If it ranks that, it will go through the same set of criteria. So yeah, I just, it's so much fun making the thumbnails, which for a lot of people is like this huge ordeal and it's a challenge. This makes it a game of, clicking buttons till I get something I like. And if I don't get something that's, as good as I want, there's something that's good enough. And I'm never going to get perfect. I think like most of mine end up in the 80s, or I think I may have hit 90s a couple of times with some of these thumbnails. It's just, doing something until it works and gets a good score. And then, hey, I can make it public. For the titles, it has it here on their site, but what I usually do, and let me switch to this tab, is like if I go to the content, so like for the one that I did today, I'll go to the details. And then if I go down here, well enough, if I give it a second, let this load, See, right now that title is rated as a 91, and it gives me a title that ranks as a 96. That's based on keywords and things that people want to watch, things that, there's a need for it, and there's a gap for people that are producing those things. So it comes up with a score. So on this one, new equipment haul, knife throwing target build, that scores higher based on those words. But for me, that's not really the intent of the video. So I went with one that was a lower score because it was, about unboxing the Yeti and setting up for my first live stream. That was the goal for that video. I wanted that to be the words that you saw in the title. And it still ranked high because it structured it in a way that was something that would catch attention and it would get clicks. Because if nobody clicks it, nobody views it, you don't get credit for it, and you don't get the engagement for the people to join the live stream or to subscribe to your channel or leave a comment. So I don't know, it's just a fun game. There's lots of psychology to it. I'm learning all those aspects and loving that. So let's see if I go back over here. You see how it'll produce like 3 here, and you see them actually with your video and the thumbnail. So the combination is kind of why you would want to do this here. And then it gives you some other details, and it's like that's the description they use. You see, this is what I was talking about, where I've got the affiliate links. Yeah, buy me a coffee. That would be cool. I mean, that's cheap. It's like $5 or something like that. That would be just amazing to earn my first $5 for somebody buying me a coffee at some point. I know I've seen that on lots of other people's videos. I mean, the commission, all that's great, but that would be like a, buy me a coffee. That's just fun. So anyway, let's see what else is useful here. What other tools have I been loving here? Canva. I've actually got my wife. I didn't realize it, but she already had one of the premium or pro Canva accounts because she works in the school system and she uses it to produce stuff for some of their activities. And my daughter is she just started college this past year, and she has to do things for classes or things like that. So she went ahead and got a good I don't know, there's different levels of accounts. So she got the one that opens up a lot of the different features of it. So I haven't actually gone in there and played with it because I've been using all these other tools that are generating the thumbnails for me, which is mostly what I would use. But I will show you this. If you go to my main page right here, this Evergreen Growth Journey, that's my banner. I did produce that in Canva. It was just like an AI kind of thing that it had there. Is I gave it a description of what I wanted. It was a guy walking through a forest with a backpack, sun coming through the trees, and he's walking the trail, and it came up with this, and it was perfect. And I don't have it open, and I don't know how hard it would be for me to get to it. But yeah, one of the things that I was going to talk about, it's further down my list here with the future plans. But one of the things that I'm really excited about is I know I want to start the farm when I move to South Carolina, but I can go ahead and start my business now with the YouTube as a starting point, doing the videos, doing the community, doing the social media kind of thing, which it was crazy when I did the application for the LLC, which is where I was going with that. I had to describe what my role is in this LLC, and it was the best fit was social media influencer. And that's just the weirdest thing to describe myself at 52 as a social media influencer. But I guess that is true currently. It seems even weirder with only 8 subscribers. So if more people subscribe, it won't feel so weird. Yeah. So, but I did end up, I used AI to generate what the business actually does. All the different criteria included the agricultural stuff in the future, but the YouTube stuff with the videos and with the market stuff, there's potential for selling either digital or physical products. I'm setting up a website. the way that I created my business, because one of the things you can do in your information, like if I look at, like if we look here, one of the things you can do is you can put a website to link. And what I was going to do, like instead of having that, that's just one of the affiliate things that I came up with, and it was just when I was editing my description the last time, you're limited on the number of characters you can have there. So I wanted to explain what an evergreen growth journey was and welcome to the channel and that kind of thing. And then I was starting to sign up for different affiliate things, so I went ahead and put those in the description. But what I'm going to end up doing is changing that to a link to my website. The website is not live yet, but I do have the domain. When I was setting up the LLC, I did it through Zen Business. I was looking at several different people, companies that you can use to set up your LLC. I ended up going with Zen Business because I think they're the best fit and they bring the most benefits for a small company. Like LegalZoom's the one most people have heard of. But they're more focused on like bigger businesses and the legal side of setting up your business as opposed to the tools you actually need to grow your business. So I researched like nonstop for several hours. Yeah, it seems like a short time when I put it that way, but I put a lot of detailed research into figuring out which one I wanted to do. I've got pages and pages of notes. But I did end up going with Zen Business, and part of what they offer is you can set up a website, and that's what I'm doing while I'm trying to go through this, is getting to the website that I built. I have the domain name for the evergreengrowthjourney.com, and I've already got an email address set up with that. That's the one that I'm using. It's the one that's in my description there, which it's one of those things that when you're doing those how-to videos, they pointed out is this email address here. You don't want to use the email address that you use, the Gmail address that you use to set up your channel. Don't include it there because people could potentially do bad things with that. They can use that to try to, take over your account or, do things that get you in trouble. There's a lot of stuff. It's not necessarily a negative thing, but I did have that there briefly when I first created my channel, and it was grabbed by somebody that has been sending me emails. It seems like it's good intention kind of thing so far, so I'm not too worried about it. But he's offering to help me to make my channel better and grow my channel, and he's given like valid observations. It seems like it may be AI generated. It's hard to tell, but I've gotten some little insights from the things that are in those emails. But I'm glad I got rid of that quickly because it's only that one person that's sending me email, or that one YouTube, I don't know, guru, mentor, advisor. But what they do is they make it to where you have to click. It's just not automatically there, but you can see I set up Kevin.Johnson. Yeah, that's my name, by the way. I don't think I've even mentioned my name in this video. Yeah, Kevin Johnson. Good to meet you. I'd shake your hand, but parasocial relationships, I'll probably never meet most of you. You'll watch my videos and I'll respond to your comments, and we'll have a two-way interaction through that. I'm going to keep doing these live streams, so in the future I'm going to have a schedule for those, so as my community grows, people will know when I'm going to stream and when they can join and ask me questions or give feedback or just talk about their day, whatever we end up doing. I may end up doing podcasts at some point. It's one of the things that Riverside supports very well. So you can do the live stream, but it also supports doing podcasts. And YouTube is getting to where it's geared toward creating podcasts because that's like a huge area that they're dominating in. It's not necessarily the place that you think of, but it is a huge portion of the podcasts, just business across all the different platforms that are doing it. So I think that my content may be geared toward that. I think there's things that I could talk about on a regular basis that I could turn into podcast. And it's easy. All you have to really do is set up a playlist and designate it as a podcast. And, you put a couple of extra little things in there so that it can be used and it can be picked up and used in that format. but it seems pretty simple. I'm probably going to start that, not necessarily with this video, because this is really just practice and me rambling to myself. But I will probably be making some videos from this content because I'm sharing a lot of stuff. I'm going through some of the information that I've learned, which is kind of the goal of all of this. Of course, I've got, my wife sleeping upstairs, my son sleeping upstairs, and I'm down here talking to myself, streaming to the world, and no one's watching. Life is good. This is so cool. All right. So where I was going with the whole Zen business thing earlier and setting up my LLC and becoming a legit business in Maryland. Sorry, that's like a really bright screen because it's white background. But I've set up the domain, set up the email, and as soon as I get the official word that my LLC form has been approved by Maryland, I will go ahead and publish my website. I'm still waiting on that. I'm still waiting on my EIN number. It's the number that you need to establish a bank account. It's like your employer identification number that you have to use if you have employees, but it's also required for setting up bank accounts. So I'm learning all about LLCs. It was one of the books I got when I was doing the farming stuff because I knew I'd have to develop a business plan, get funding for the farm, for the initial investment of equipment and property and all those things. So, yeah, so once I get the LLC, I'll get the EIN, and then I can get the bank account, and then I can actually start doing all these like subscriptions to tools and like the things I'm doing for my videos. Those will be potentially, things that are tax write-offs because it's business related expenses. So that'll, I don't know, balance it in my mind that I'm spending money on lumber for making a target for throwing knives at for a video. That I'm paying subscriptions for video editing software, that I'm buying a Blue Yeti microphone. Just all the things that I'm doing that I wouldn't have been doing otherwise. They are business related. They're valid expenses. But once the LLC is set up, then it'll be, doing the bookkeeping for all of that, figuring out the taxes, all the forms on a renewal basis every year. And like I said, I chose Zen Business to do that. And I think I have it at the point now that I can share this screen. Okay, so this is Evergreen Growth Journey. This is going to be the official domain website for my business. I am just beyond belief excited about this. So one of the nice things about this is there is an AI assistant for doing this as well. So I fed it a bunch of information. It took all the information that went into my LLC forms, where I was describing my business, what it will do, how we're structured, what our goals are. And then I asked it to create pages for me. And from that, one of the nice things also with this, and it was frustrating trying to put the page together, is you see it'll do a desktop view, a tablet, and a mobile. And then you can view your site on all screens. So if I switch to that, you see how different it looks because, different size screens, different shapes. So if I go like my computer screen, and this is the one that you usually look at when you're building it because it's easier to build it on a computer. If I scroll down, you see in the branding, you see that on my YouTube channel. That came from Zen Business. They have a logo maker that you can use. It has a lot of, free for use kind of icons that you can use. You can blend that with the colors for your site, the name of your business. There's different ways of doing the LLC at the end, but that is required. I don't do it on the YouTube channel, but I will do it for everything with this site. But as you scroll down, it's like the journey begins, and that's my welcome. And some of this I wrote myself. Some of this was generated and I tweaked it. I did put a disclaimer in there because, like I said, some of it's AI generated. So as I go through some of the sites, there's like testimonials and stuff like that for my site. And it's obvious that it's made up, but I wanted to make sure up front that, these are not valid comments from real people. This is the AI producing these things, and I'm considering this placeholders until I get, a community established and I actually get real comments that I can put on the site. And I don't think that'll take that long. I think within the first year, I'll have enough people involved that I think I'll have some, legit comments in there. Or that's the goal. I mean, who knows? It could take 10 times as long, and I'll be an old man when it happens. I'm already an old man, depending on who you ask. 52 is not old when you're planning to live to 95, though. One of the books I've been reading a lot of library books. One of them was The Second 50. So people are living longer now. So even though I'm 52, I'm only halfway done. I still got a lot of years left, and I'm going to make the most of every day for all of those years I have left, because you never know when's your last day. That's one of the things in this past year. I lost my uncle, lost my grandmother, hit me really hard. And I think that's part of why I was open to doing this. I don't know that I would have considered it without having all of that tragedy in the last year. So a lot of positive, I think, is going to come out of that. Sorry, sidetracking with personal things, but it is part of why I'm doing this channel. I mean, it's like things that I want to share because I think it will help somebody. But like I was saying with this, if you do, here's like where it broke out, like what this business means, which is also kind of what my channel means. I mean, it's that evergreen growth journey. It's building skills, improving evergreen over viral videos. So a lot of the site is focused on the video, the social media aspects of developing a community to share information, to support each other as we all grow together. And that's, personal growth, skills growth, and agricultural is where I'm going with all this. That's kind of the evergreen part of it that also applies to the social media and the personal. So, I mean, I love the name that I came up with. It just, I was struggling trying to figure out what to name my channel. I kept coming up with words like growth and journey. And like I said, I watched that Rob the Maritimer video where he went through the difference between viral and evergreen. And it's like, I really like evergreen, but I don't know how to use that in the name. And then at work, I walked outside and there was like one of the freight containers, and it was like bright green and it had evergreen on the side. It's like, it was the same day I'd watched that video. It's like, yep, that's got to be part of the name. So instead of it being one word, it's two, because it's more the meaning that I want to go with. So evergreen growth journey. Plus, I really like the idea. We're probably going to have chickens on the farm. And if you do the EGG, it's egg journey. So I've got the poultry stuff in the name as well. I know, I'm weird. Actually, I have a video that I probably shouldn't show, but let's see. Well, here's a picture. I can share this. Let me change up here what I'm sharing real quick. Let's see, and it would be a window. And let's see if it'll let me. I had an issue with this before when I was making the video earlier, is for some reason DaVinci will not show up correctly. Oh, no, there it is. Let me share it while it's on the screen. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you see this monthly resolutions. I had used AI to generate an egg with my face on it, but I didn't actually use a picture of my face. I used a description like blue eyes and a goatee beard. And that's what it came up with. And my daughter's like, that is the freakiest thing I have ever seen. Please don't use that. But I like the idea of like an avatar of an egg with my face on it. I think I might try to tweak it and come up with something that's not quite so creepy. But I had another idea that I'm wanting to kind of research and figure out. But I'll tell more on that one later. But I had a really good idea. It's like one of those late night ideas last night. I had to write it down. I got up, came downstairs, and I wrote pages and pages about this idea, just fleshed it out. I mean, characters, all the details. Started doing research on other channels just to make sure it wasn't something that somebody else had already done. And I don't really see it as something out there. So I think there's this like really cool, novel thing that I've come up with that I'm going to try to build. And the creativity of doing this channel is just fantastic. Any idea you come up with, you can find some way to work it into your channel or the activity that you're doing. Anyway, yeah, my weird egg face, I'm going to take that off the screen. Let's share that other screen again. Yeah. Editor, yes, the one I want. Okay, so yeah, the other part is learning new skills. Like I said, that's a big aspect. So this kind of is like the core of my YouTube channel, but also the business that I want to grow. So yeah, learning any new skills. So I'm thinking there might be tie-ins with like I know I've seen on a lot of YouTube channels, not as much lately, but like Skillsoft and things like that, where people share. You can make videos of how to do things, and then people can watch that video and learn from the things you've done. I think I did it, and I learned how to solve a Rubik's cube. It just seemed like a fun little thing to do. But I mean, a lot of the video editing skills and other like business related kind of things, any kind of technology, there's probably going to be some kind of training on that. I'm sure there's tons of stuff for AI right now. And then the growing the community, that's a huge thing for my farm because I want to do like a direct to market kind of thing. I don't want to be like a farm factory and, see pennies on the dollar for the things I produce. I want to grow a crop, turn it into something, and then market that directly to people. And that's going to need a big social media presence. And through most of my adult life, from the jobs I worked and things like that, I've avoided being on social media. So now this YouTube channel is my chance to overcome that. Yeah, to a degree, that's kind of what it is. It's a way for me to, I don't know, it's kind of like when you're scared of bees and people expose you to bees, so you get used to it. This is kind of I am uncomfortable with social media, so I'm diving in with everything I have, and I'm recording at 1 a.m. and my video is up to an hour and 16 minutes. I've been doing this. And yeah, I mean, people are welcome to watch this. No one is. But I mean, from my point of view, I'm putting this out there for the world to see. I'm sharing my story, my goals, my dreams for the future. Um, I I don't know. I'm not seeing the response yet in the numbers, but I think that's going to come in time. But I think people are out there that they want to hear what I have to say. Not that I'm important, but it's people need that positivity, that encouragement. Um, I don't know, that inspiration for growth, that it's okay. I know there's like this stigma with being smart in this country, with like being you know, the elite kind of thing, which I don't know. I don't find that valid. I think without the scientists and the teachers and the people that are trying to discover new things, we kind of stagnate. I don't know. We should continue to grow, that evergreen growth journey. So I don't know. I think this is my way of trying to make the world better because I don't know. I'm avoiding any political conversation or anything along those lines, but things have been bleak for a lot of people. And if I can bring some positivity to the world, I feel like I should do that. I'm not out protesting or, doing any like amazing things, but in my small way, by starting this channel and building a community of positive people that are trying to make the world better, I don't know, it's going to have some great benefits down the road for a lot of people, me included, because the best way to learn something is to teach somebody else. So the more I can teach you, the more I feel like I've learned. It's sharing the little things I'm doing that add up to big things. Yeah. So yeah, going back to the site, growing the community. And then I think if I do the more about us, yeah, there's that image again that I did in Canva. And you see how it pulls up the same page in the different formats. Yeah, realize I've been talking for a long time. I know when I watch a lot of videos, they have like the little things where you can turn in your points and make them hydrate. So yeah, I'm looking forward to people reminding me to hydrate when I do this because my mouth is so dry after talking for over an hour. So there we go. That's me. Kevin Johnson, 52 years old, decided to make a career transition. Yeah, it's a big one. Going from cybersecurity in Maryland to being a farmer in South Carolina, going from the city to the rural, but getting close to a lot of family, people I love that I don't know, lost that close contact with. So really looking forward to that. Yeah, and that's kind of the same story. I just sharing my story here. Yeah, wanting to transition to being a farmer, working in cybersecurity, and learning new skills. So wanting to create a community of like-minded folks that want to do the same. I think I need to improve that picture there. That was one of those where it used the AI to crop the background, but it ended up with like a weird shape for my head. I'll put a new picture up there later. Plus, I was doing the Movember with my son, so this was, I shaved it off in November and then took this picture in January. So yeah, I trimmed it back down to its normal length. Yeah, and weird thing about me, this is all I can grow. It's not that I shave my cheeks. I don't grow anything on my cheeks. Before I started making this video, I noticed like one hair, and I pulled it with a tweezer. That's me shaving. It's just this. This is all I can grow, and it took me forever to get this to connect. And it's still not perfect, but yeah. Another interesting thing about me. Yeah, so and then the community, and that's the reason why I'm building it. It's not for me, it's to build a community. And then experts, this is something that I'm looking for, like I said, like-minded folks to be those experts. I'm not the expert. One of my managers recently, he described me as a bridge, because I was talking about being able to pull together people with different expertise to achieve something more than they could individually. And it's one of those things that I strive for in any role. I mean, I tried out for drum major back in high school band, like an old story. But I realized that the other guy that was like the other top person that I was competing with would not have made a good band captain. So I stepped back from drum major and said, "Hey, I'll be the band captain, because that'll give me a chance to lead everybody, to let you do your job, to lead them in the music, and I can help everything else." And I've always liked taking on that role to be the person behind the person. So like I said, I'm not the expert, but if I can bridge different experts together to do something better than they could do alone, yeah, I've achieved something. So yeah, I like that concept of being a bridge. Haven't really tied that into the company so much, but in the back of my head, that's kind of who I think I am. That's how I would describe myself to myself. So yeah, still working on some of the contact us, trying not to dox myself. So I don't have a business address. I just have my personal address. So pointing people to the channel, home, to my cell phone number, and then the address from the new domain where the site will be. Yeah, and there's pages and pages. Like I said, I use the AI generator. So if I go over here and look at this, I have all of these pages. So it came up with all these different things, and I just let it go. I mean, I just had it keep generating things and looked at them. I need to group them a little bit better before I finally publish things. But like those 4 things that were on that first page, if I go back to the home here, like these items down at the bottom, these are kind of the groupings of the different types of things that are here. So there's like video production stuff, audience building. So these are more geared toward the video side of developing that community outreach through social media. Collaborative projects, this is going into the growing community engagement, which ties in with the video side, the community side, and the learning skill side. So I mean, a lot of these touch on different areas. Creative storytelling, that one's going to go back to the videos, but it also might go back to the community, because that's a skill that kind of breaches different areas. And everything kind of falls into this evergreen growth, as long as it's new skills that somebody's developing. E-commerce is probably going to touch on several of these, because it's going to require a community to do it. It's going to require the evergreen videos for the social media outreach to get some attention for it, and learning new skills through all of it. So yeah, it was just a really cool AI generated way of putting all this together, and I just need to organize it, put some final touches on it, and I'll have a website where I can direct people from my YouTube channel to go into bigger things. So the YouTube is a huge start, but it's not the end goal. It's, you know, one step further along the journey. All right. Yeah, I keep looking back at my list of things that I was going to talk about. I've kind of touched on some, the videos I made. I looked at some of those when I was on the page here. Actually, let's look at it from this perspective. So this is my channel. Ooh, look at there, 8 subscribers, back up to 8. I would love to hit double digits. 22 videos. There's all the information. Yeah, January 6th. January 7th. So today, now that I'm in 1:15 a.m., it is officially the 8th. So I guess I'm technically day 1 of my 2nd month. Oh no, I'm gonna count it by actual calendar months. So I've been counting it since February. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see the live is still live, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that does once I end it, but I'm having too much fun to stop now. So you can see my videos. You can set up your YouTube page to show suggested videos first, or you can put these in any order you want. These are popular videos. So like I said, this one has got the most views for a long form video that I've done so far. And then it kind of ranks them. It seems like it's, you know, going from your highest view to your, you know, however many you have that fit in that category. Yeah, it's like that one only got 4 views. That's one of my practice videos. The snow day, yeah, I love this one. Yeah, the little short that I did that got the 550 views. Since it's a short, it's a vertical view, so you only get part of the picture. So this one is, I actually did the time lapse with my camera instead of a video editor. So this is like just raw footage from my camera. I didn't really do anything other than cut off a little bit at the beginning when nothing was happening. And I was listening to YouTube videos with my phone, which was what I used to make the video. I've done all my videos with my phone. I haven't bought a camera for this or anything yet. That's going to be one of those future purchases. The first one was the Blue Yeti. The next one will be, you know, like a $200 or $300 camera that I can use that'll actually give me better quality video and some more options for taking videos. Well, and the software and the legal expenses for setting up the company and all that kind of thing. So I'm having to invest some to get started. But I think it's one of those chances where I can invest in me, and you don't get those too often. I mean, other than like college degrees and things like that, certificates maybe, but you know, I'm investing in me by building this YouTube channel, developing these skills, and just doing things out of my comfort zone and realizing that it's not really uncomfortable. It kind of makes sense. It fits. It feels like I'm finally doing what I'm supposed to be doing instead of what I've done for my career. Not that I didn't enjoy my career. I've had an amazing career. But now that I see it coming to an end when I make that transition to becoming a farmer, it's like one of those big life changes that it gives you perspective and you see things that you didn't see in your daily routine. Yeah, I think I'm proving to myself that I can talk for a long time without, I don't know, hopefully I'm saying something useful for somebody out there who's listening at some point, because no one is currently listening. I think it's still just me. Yeah, because I would have an indicator next to the YouTube that I had one viewer, so it's still just me. But I didn't expect anybody to watch. This was, like I said, last minute decision, and I didn't really give much advance notice. And I'm doing this at midnight, so who is actually going to be watching me live stream at midnight on a Saturday? Especially with like this crazy cold weather, people aren't staying up to watch a video. Even family, even if, oh, that's one thing. I don't know if I've mentioned that much. I did mention the one person in the family who would most likely be my target audience, which I think a lot of them will be over time. But one of the big pieces of advice from most of the how-to YouTube folks, there's a lot of them like Think Media and just tons of people that have been successful with it, and they're sharing their knowledge. They usually have some product or something like that, but I can't blame them, because I'll probably do the same thing once I've got enough skills to do that myself. Because you don't have to be an expert, like I said, but if I'm one step further on the journey than you, then you could learn something from my mistakes. You could learn something that I may have
had to struggle to learn, and you can learn it without the struggle. So that's kind of the point. Is that has value. It's not that I'm selling you something to make money. It's that I'm using the thing I know to offer that to you, and by getting monetized to do that, that allows me to help more people. That allows me to build a business that takes care of me and my family. Hopefully someday. I don't know that it'll ever get big enough to really do that, but I mean that's the hope of starting a YouTube channel. You want it to be profitable. The same with the farm. I mean, I could do it and it breaks even every year, and I would still get the joy of doing it. But I would like for it to make a profit. That's kind of the goal. You don't want to do it and it lose money. I mean, you want it to be able to support you and your family, the people you love. Yeah, that's one of the reasons too why I wanted to start the YouTube channel, and why I jumped in so just wholehearted with everything I had was, like I said, I will have a chance to potentially retire at 55. A lot of people don't. A lot of people in my family don't. And I don't want to see them struggling with, bad health and not having that glimmer of hope that they at least get to retire at some point. So even though what I've done to allow me to potentially retire, it's not enough that I can help other people to be able to retire. So if I create a YouTube channel, create some extra income with that, maybe that can help give them some opportunities that they wouldn't have had in their lives. Not saying it's charity or anything like that, but I mean, if I've got a company that has a position that they would be fantastic, and I would get to work with people I love, that would be amazing. I mean, who gets that? That would be the coolest thing. So I'm trying to build that. And I know it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen probably in the next 3 years before I move. But if I can at least take, as many steps as I can along that journey in the next 3 years, I'm a lot closer than if I don't start. So, I mean, there's a lot of motivation there. Yeah. There's a lot of things I'm sharing in this, well, that I'm talking to myself, so it's easier to share, but I am going to make this public. I mean, probably going to edit it some just to clean it up, but I don't know that I'm really going to cut out the content, because this is, like I said, part of the journey. It's sharing the things in my life, that the experiences that might help other people. It's why some random person out in the world might want to watch something I create, because I have a perspective, I have experience that either shows them something they haven't experienced in their life, or it's something they have experienced and they realize, hey, they're not alone. It's not so strange to want to learn things at 50 so that you can, I don't know, experience things you haven't done before, so that you can build new skills, so that you can appreciate things in your life that, I don't know, kind of go unnoticed because you haven't put the time in to know what it takes to get good at something. It's like the axe throwing. I mean, I keep going back to that one just because it's the one that I'm working on for February. But I mean, if you see somebody throw an axe in a movie or something, it's like, yeah, that's a stunt guy. He gets paid to do that. He practices and he's all right. But then you start like trying to do it yourself, and like you try to get a knife to stick in a board 100 times that day so you can like move on to the next thing. And you realize, like, yeah, you kind of got to commit to it. You got to get the muscle memory. You got to do the repetition. You got to just take the time to get good. And it's not like I'm going to do anything great with that skill, but my plan is that skill, throwing the axes and knives, is going to lead to the next skill. I watched some videos about doing slings. Like, it's, you just kind of whip it. It's a cord and a rock, and it's like David and Goliath kind of thing. So it's like, that would be so cool. Doing a slingshot. There's lots of really cool slingshots. But the goal is I want to do throwing accuracy things and then end up with archery. Because archery is something like when I'm playing video games, that's the things I gravitate to. Is I would love to be able to pick up a bow and just make an amazing shot at a bullseye. I'm not much for hunting. I never have really in my life, but I've loved playing hunting video games. So if I were going to hunt, I think I would prefer to do it with a bow than, a firearm. So I don't know, things like that. Plus with, doing the farming and stuff like that, moving to South Carolina, I may end up needing to go down that path anyway. I mean, I was in the military, so I mean, it's not that I'm like averse to that or anything. But it's one of those things I haven't done in my life. I just haven't felt the need to be armed. But I think if I'm on a rural environment with acres of land and I'm out in a field, I'm as much worried about somebody doing something bad as I am, an animal trying to go kill my sheep or something. So I mean, I think there's going to be a need to develop those skills. So yeah, weird tangent there, but it's related. It's not just random conversation. So yeah, I think I'm looking slightly off of the camera because I keep looking at my notes because I have it on a sticky note right next to the camera. But I think that kind of ties in. I was talking about the videos I made, and it ties into the monthly resolutions. That's a lot of the content on my channel at the moment. It's not going to be all my content, but it's kind of where I'm starting to learn the skills to do other things. Like I said, I've got this amazing idea I got last night, and I'm just like super excited about it because it ties in a lot of the agriculture stuff to the skills development and the starting YouTuber kind of thing. So yeah, you'll see that in the coming weeks. I'm sure. I'm not going to drop that one because I really like the idea. It's going to require learning a lot of new skills to get it done, though, because it's going to require some either animation or working with AI to produce things. So far, I'm not doing so much the faceless video. I think the closest I've gotten to a faceless video is the one time lapse where I'm shoveling the driveway because for a lot of it, my head is slightly out of frame. I was planning to do the entire driveway where most of the framing was for where I put the camera, but then it stopped because I think I started saying that at one point. I was listening to YouTube videos and my earbud was in my ear and it hit the hood because it was so cold outside and it kept stopping the video. I think it also stopped the time lapse. So I only got a couple minutes worth of video, which was, it was a time lapse. So it was probably, 20, 30 minutes of real time. But yeah, where was I going with that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is getting late. It is almost 1:30. I'm probably going to get the giddy talk that I end up just cutting out of this since nobody's watching me. Yeah, it was kind of similar to this when I was doing the previous video, when I was doing the making of the video that I posted to promote this live stream. But there I was focused on creating that video. So at least I had a task that I was doing. Here I'm just kind of talking and going through a list of topics and showing you things, and then I can share a video. Yeah, it's just me in the corner staring at my webpage. But I'm so proud of my YouTube channel. I've got my logo, I've got my banner. I did those with different tools. This one I did as I was making my LLC. My description is something that I worked on. And then just all these videos that I've made over just a short period of time. I mean, imagine how many videos. Yeah, I've been focusing on monthly resolutions, but I've still got the yearly resolution that I want to. Well, the focus is on the monthly as my yearly resolution, but part of that is the YouTube. So on my monthly goals are going to lead to an annual goal that I have for the channel. And that is to produce 4 videos on average a week. And that includes shorts. I know, like I said, the first month I did like a video a day. So it's well beyond that 4 per week. But if I do 4 per week with the number of weeks I have left in the year, I think I'll be at about 215 videos for the year. So roll that back just a little bit and say, if I do 200 videos by the end of the year, I mean, the skills I'll develop, the ideas, the creativity I will get to put out there, the fun projects I'm going to get to work, the new skills for my monthly resolutions that I'm going to learn. I mean, this is going to be the most amazing year. And another thing with that 200 videos is most people fail at YouTube because they'll make a couple videos. They'll be at the point I'm at right now where it's like I've worked my tail off producing videos. I mean, it's all been fun. It's not like it's been work, But you see all the content that I've made. I mean, this is my videos. This is what I've done in a month. I mean, if you look at my videos, it goes and goes. I mean, that's just cool for a month. And I'm proud of every single one of them. I mean, even this one, which is like silly, me talking about getting an idea on a toilet. It was clickbaity, but I mean, even that was fun. I mean, I've got playlists where I'm organizing things. But what I was saying was a lot of the videos about how to create a channel and make it successful. Most people don't. I mean, I think it's like 3% that make any money at all, and like 0.1% that are like wealthy from doing it. But you mean if you look at the numbers of what they've actually paid out to creators, I mean, it's like hundreds of billions of dollars. So I mean, there's a lot of money that can be made with doing this. Why don't people make money with it? It's because it's hard. It's skills you're not used to. It's sitting here 1 a.m., 1:30, looking at a camera, talking to myself. Even if nobody's watching, I'm building a skill that's going to help me to improve this channel. And I don't know, my goal is to change people's lives, to make the world a better place. I know that sounds hokey for something that's coming from doing a YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel is just where I'm learning the skills that I'm going to take to the next thing. I mean, it's not the end all be all, but it is a big part of it to establish, getting that seed in the ground and getting it growing. And then I'll nurture that and turn it into something amazing. And that's where I'm excited that, if somebody subscribes to my channel, they get to go on that journey with me. I mean, again, sounds hokey, but in my head, it's just waiting until YouTube finds those people that want to go on this journey with me. It's not me selling you on anything. It's not me being fake and trying to convince you of doing something. It's not me, trying to game the system to get viewers and subscribers. It's me learning how to find my audience, to find the people that, like I keep saying, want to go on this journey with me. That's the way I frame it in my head. That's where it is in my heart. It's, that's who I am. That's what I want to do. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but did you see that number just changed? I have 9 subscribers now. Where did that come from? Let's see. Yep, 9 subscribers. So you see, you do good things and good things come. That's amazing. Yep, it just updated on the analytics. Yeah, I've gotten a few followers. Nobody's in the live stream, but yeah, I'm at 9 subscribers. Maybe I'll finally hit my January goal by the end of the night. This is so much fun. I'm loving this so much. All right, so let me get back to the page that I'm sharing here. Actually, no, let me go back to that. I'll go back to here. Let me see. Yeah, if I go back to the analytics, and I'll share that tab, which again, Riverside makes this so easy. I don't know what this is like doing it with YouTube itself. I'll have to try that out sometime. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on this channel or my personal, the gaming channel, Ferrex Gaming. Yeah, I mentioned that, but I don't expect anybody to ever join that channel. That's really just my personal playground for playing games and having fun with family. This is the one I'm actually trying to do as a business, and I'll be a gamer for life. I mean, I'm one of those kids that grew up in the 80s and had the Atari 2600 and ColecoVision B-17 Bomber. I love that game. It was crazy. It was actually even a knockoff thing my cousin had. Just Pong. I mean, I remember the old school games. I remember when Pong was on these little systems that you could get at a yard sale that people just threw out because, they were just junky little games. Commodore 64. I mean, I'm gamer for life. So the gaming channel may end up being a thing at some point, because that's before I spent all my time doing YouTube this last month, and before I started doing the gardening and stuff to try to learn to be a farmer. A whole weekend would pass and I would be sitting in my chair playing a video game for 3 days straight. I mean, that's who I was before this. So that's part of me, and I don't think that's going away. It's just I've got a new focus right now, trying to do something bigger. But trying to turn those gaming skills into real life skills in a way, the farming and the archery and lots of different things I've learned from video games that have real world applications. Yeah, it's a weird way of looking at it, but that's, like I said, gamer for life. That's my mentality. Is I play video games so I can make spreadsheets a lot of times. I know that's another one of those weird things about me. I don't know that many people would be able to say that about themselves. Is I will play a video game that has like a lot of complicated mechanics to it, and then I'll make spreadsheets to track all the details. And like the platinum trophies, I'll figure out all the requirements to be able to get all the little crazy trophies to get to the platinum. I platinum Anthem. If you know anything about Anthem, that was one of the worst launch games ever. And I devoted the time to get all the trophies, and I'm probably one of the very few people in the world who have a platinum trophy on that game. And a lot of mine are obscure games like that. So anyway, another weird thing about me. Don't know if that's anything anybody really wants to hear, but I'm talking on a microphone to myself at 1:35 in the morning. So you never know what I'm going to say. Okay, so let's see. Back on track here. I've got the analytics page up, so you can see the 9 subscribers. Yay! That's the most subscribers I've had so far. I hit 8, went back to 7, back to 8, and now I've got 9. But what I was going to show you here is there's a live count, so you can see that growth. So you can see started on the 11th with 0, and then on the 12th I got 2. I got 2 subscribers from my first video, and then I stayed at 2 until the 24th, and then the 25th I got a third, and then the 26th I got 2 more. Stayed there until the end of January. I only had 5. My goal was 10. And since then, I've gone up 6, 7, 8, back down to 7, and now back up to 9. So I jumped up in one day. I've got 2 subscribers. So it's like my first day. I've gotten 2 subscribers in a day. I know I'm still in single digits. I'm a baby YouTuber, but it makes me smile. This is just amazing to me. I am so yeah. People don't stick with the business. They don't stick with YouTube and treat it like, it might be a hobby, or it might be just, people reject me. People aren't signing up for this. I'm failing, so why try? I'm not going to see money for who knows how long because I'm not going to get monetized. Or they'll take shortcuts and they'll get monetized, and they'll do things that end up getting their channel banned or something like that. I'm slow growth. It's the growth journey, taking my time, enjoying every moment. Every subscriber means something. I'm loving this. I don't see me not doing this in my future. So me getting successful with it is just a matter of time. It's not a matter of, can I do it? It's just how long will it take? So yeah, I'm in this for the long haul. So, join, don't join. I would love to have you on this journey with me. But if you're not my target audience, if you're not somebody who wants to subscribe, I'm not going to be able to convince you of it. And if I do, you're just going to be a number. You're not going to be a participant. You're not going to be an active part of the community. So I'm not losing in that scenario. It's just we haven't made that connection. And so part of my goal is to produce content that helps make that connection. I know. Hokey still, I don't know. That's who I am. I don't know. I'm not going to be fake with anything I do on this channel. That's not who I am, and that's not the goal of this channel. It's to be myself, and I think the person that I am, people will like, and they'll want to join my community. Or at least the ones that, will get some value from it. The ones that just dismiss it or think I'm hokey and don't give me a chance, or, they think I'm just silly with the stuff I do or the content or my perspective on things. I'm not going to make a connection with everybody, but for the ones I do, I'm going to do my best to improve your life in some way through my content. So, yeah, late night conversations with Kevin. All right. So, what else is left on my list here? I keep looking over. If I'm not looking directly at the camera, I'm looking at my list. So I went through some of the monthly resolutions, the February ones. I was going to give an update on those. I'm making videos to show kind of progress on those. I've been taking videos that haven't made it into something I've made public yet. The goal tomorrow is I think I finally have all the tools. I've been trying to build that target for a week now. I think I finally have all the tools I need, charged up tools, because it took me a while to actually get like a cordless screwdriver that would charge. Or didn't have a drill bit stuck in it or something. So I think I finally got all the tools, got all the material. So I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow in my garage. I did get a heater, so hopefully it won't be freezing cold out there. But I'm going to cut the lumber, screw it together, follow the plans to build a throwing target for my axes and knives. And then I'm going to have a blast for the rest of the month using that target to do that monthly goal. And then that goal will turn into the next goal, or I will adjust that one and continue to improve on it, because it's actually pretty fun. I don't know if you've ever thrown knives and axes, but it's pretty cool, fun thing to do. That it's not part of most people's daily lives, but it is mine now. I know my wife thinks I've lost my mind. Anyway, but she loves me and she's supporting me, so I couldn't ask for more than that. I love her. So yeah, more monthly resolutions. The working out. In the video where I go through the exercises I'm doing, it's like I can see my belly there, and it's like I know I'm not in my best shape, but I can be in better shape in my future. So starting now, I'm doing some exercises just to get in that routine of doing something every day. So I'm doing planks. I'm improving on my time. I got my little sheet here. Yeah, let me stop sharing so I can make this bigger. We'll stop sharing and we will make this full. There we go. Okay. So like I said, love me some spreadsheets. So this is my spreadsheet that I made to track my monthly goals for February. So you can see my starting times there, doing my planks, my crunches, doing jump rope, which I know sounds silly for a 52-year-old man to be doing jump rope, but I watched a lot of videos and it's like a really good full body exercise kind of thing. You get your cardio, your legs, your arms, you're working your core, you're working your stamina doing it. Just lots of benefits from just jumping rope. And I've got a ropeless jump rope, which is really weird too. It's like a little flail. It's just a little rubber ball on the end of a little tube with a handle on it. And you got one in each hand and you're jumping rope, but you don't actually have a rope. You just have something that feels like a rope. And it does feel like a weighted rope in your hand. And the nice benefit there is I'm not hitting the ceiling in the basement when I'm doing it. And if I don't get the timing perfect, I'm not tripping over a rope. So I get lots of benefits. Plus, I don't have to go outside in the freezing cold and ice to do a jump rope. I can do it in the comfort of my warm basement. So yeah, that one's worked out really nice. That one's a lot tougher than you would think. I have gone from a minute and 10 on February 1st to today. Well, actually yesterday, now on the 7th, I did a minute and 25. And that was just gasping for air after doing a minute 25, because I knew I was going to mention it during this live stream. And if I had viewers, I wanted to be able to tell them. And, I will post this, so somebody will see this eventually if they watch it. It'll be in the backlog, and if somebody wants to binge my content, it's there. But yeah, I've gone from a minute 10 to a minute 25, which seems like just this tiny little thing. I've gone up 15 seconds, but that is so much work to go at 15 seconds just in the stamina of doing that. Yeah, I took my shoes off tonight. I think that helped. Just doing sock feet instead of shoes. It felt, I don't know, not less heavy kind of thing. It was just a different mindset jumping. That, and I was singing the song in my head instead of looking at the stopwatch, counting the seconds. That helps a lot too. And then the one that I've really made progress in is the dead hang, which is really, it's just, I've got a chin-up bar, I'm grabbing it, and just holding on and letting the stopwatch go until I improved over the previous day. I've gone from 20 seconds the first day, which was a struggle. I mean, I was expecting 10 seconds and I did twice what I was expecting. So 20 was a good start from where I thought I would be. I've gone up 5 seconds every day, so I'm up to 50 seconds. A couple more days, I might actually be able to do it for a full minute. But that is just all mindset. It's the holding on with that bar with all your weight hanging from it and not letting go. I mean, I'm sure there's a great message in that. And if you don't hear that message, then I'm not telling the story right. But it's just holding on. I mean, that's all I'm doing. I'm hanging from a bar. I'm not trying to do a pull up. I'm not flexing muscles. I'm keeping my core tight, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders from going to a point where they pop out or something. And I don't know, I've improved. I've gotten better every day. My grip strength, my mindset, my core. Yeah, from doing most of these exercises are core. I've also got crunches on there. I'm still doing 100 every day, but I'm like focusing on it and feeling the benefit of it and trying to do it within a smaller time frame. So it's the same number, but I'm trying to reduce the time to do it. Not that I'm trying to like rush through it because I want every crunch to count. So I'm not going for like record time. I'm going for just making sure that I don't take too long to do it. And then, oh, that's all 4. That's all of them. The planks. Oh yeah. No, I didn't really cover the planks. Doing the planks, that was definitely one of the videos that I saw the most. That was a good benefit because I mean it's a no impact thing. You're just, and it makes a big difference. I did in the first day video, I did it with my hands, so kind of like push up position, like in the high push up without going down. And since I'm at a higher angle, it's less difficult. So I went for like a minute 30 the first day, then I did a minute 40 the next day using my hands. And then I was watching a couple of other videos, and like most of them, they were using elbows. So like with elbows down, you're angled, like your feet are higher than your elbows to your shoulders. So you end up, well, I guess it's about the same, but it's lower than, full arm stretched out. So there's more weight on your arms, so it feels more difficult because the way you make a plank more difficult is you elevate your feet. The way make a plank easier is you do it with your arms higher than your feet. Like if you do it like a staircase, you can put your hands on a step like 3 or 4 up and do a push up, and it's a whole lot easier than if you put your feet up 3 or 4 steps and your hands are down and now you're lifting more of your body weight. So I mean it's kind of the calisthenics kind of mindset for doing a plank and a push up. So yeah, with those, I did switch to doing elbows. So I went from a minute 40 back down to a minute, which I think is still good because I mean that's about where I got in January before I started focusing on YouTube and stopped working out. That's the reason why it's the February goal, and February is the shortest month. That's when you should start your fitness goals. So I've gone up from 1 minute on the elbows to a minute 20. So I am making progress with the elbows, but it's slower going because, oh, wow, yeah, you feel every second when you're doing those planks. If I watch the stopwatch, it is just an infinity. But if I just focus on it, get the mindset right, that's a lot of what these exercises are. They're mindset kind of exercises as much as their body exercises. There's some of my goals that I had for February that I haven't done anything with. Speed reading, that's one that I figure I'm going to be learning a lot of stuff. So I need to be able to read through research material a lot faster, gain more from it, retain it. So I'm working on that. But again, I'm still really focused on the YouTube. So I haven't been able to devote as much time because I only have so much free time, and there's a lot of stuff, especially with starting the LLC, with trying to build the target. This like an additional thing on top of the actual practicing with the axes and knives. It's the time, getting the materials, getting the tools, and actually taking the time to build it. So I mean, the time investment there should go down after I get it built, but right now it's been extra. Knots. I was going to do a video making a different knot every week. I was going to do some fun ones like I want to learn how to tie a bow tie because I just think bow ties are cool. I mean, I watch a lot of Doctor Who, And Doctor Who bow ties are cool. Fezzes are cool, but I'm not going to do the fez thing. The bow tie is actually a skill. Plus, I read a book that Bill Nye, the science guy, wrote about changing the world, and you can tell from the things I've been saying tonight that really influenced me. And he talks about him wearing the bow tie and the things that he did when he was doing comedy and stuff like that, and the stuff he's doing with the Planetary Society. So he's like a role model, kind of. He's done a lot of amazing things that I respect, and if I can honor that by learning to tie a bow tie and maybe being the only farmer in South Carolina who wears bow ties, I think that would be cool. I think, like I said, doing the educational outreach and doing the different things, I'm not wanting to just be a farmer. I'm wanting to be a farmer so that I can establish a community and help people's lives. So if I can be known as the South Carolina farmer that wears a bow tie and go to conventions and talk to schools and do kind of things like that, and I can get recognized for that, that would just be a dream. That would be amazing. So yeah, I'm going to try to learn how to tie a bow tie in February. I don't have a bow tie yet. Finding a bow tie that's not one of those clip-on things is kind of difficult. It's not as easy as you would think just going to a store to find one. I'm going to order one online. My wife was looking at them the other day. Another knot I was going to tie is I've tied my shoelaces wrong my entire life. I don't tie my shoes correctly. You know how you tie your shoe and the laces are supposed to fall to the sides of your shoes? Mine go up and down because I don't reverse the direction. So it's not that it's a hard thing to do, but I've done it wrong my entire life. So I have to relearn how to do it correctly. And then there's like different techniques for tying shoelaces. So I was going to do a video where I just do that. And part of it is learning to tie it, breaking that habit, learning a new habit, and coming up with some new ways of tying shoes from doing some research on it. But the other thing is the video skills of trying to figure out how to film a video that makes sense and shows the process, shows the value, and doesn't come across as completely silly to teach somebody how to tie their shoes. So yeah, it's like a little challenge kind of video for me. And then I was going to do 2 other ones that are actual, practical knots that would be useful in daily life kind of thing. There's actually a YouTuber that kind of inspired me to do this one, who does a lot of, like bushcraft and survival things. And he has actually an app that I have on my phone, because when I was importing all the pictures from my phone to pull everything for the YouTube channel, it pulled all of the images from that app. So I've got pictures of all the different knots that are in his app. But I'll probably use that as a reference point as I'm trying to determine which knots I want to do. And I'll probably leave a link in the description to point people to his channel, because I really enjoyed watching, because he makes some really useful videos on how to tie a knot. I mean, it's one of those, I don't know, Boy Scout skills that most people probably should learn, but don't. I mean, most people make do with just like a simple, just tying things together with a simple thing that ends up falling apart, or it's hard to release, or, it doesn't stay tight. But if you tie the correct knot for the right situation, it's going to do what it's supposed to do as a knot. And plus, knots are kind of cool. Just figuring out, I mean, it's not a math thing, but it's like a spatial reasoning thing on how it actually forms the knot, and how it can either get tighter when pulled in a certain direction or loosen itself. So I don't know. It's just one of those fascinating kind of things. If you like think about it, most people don't. It's just like a knot's a knot. It's a rope tied into something so it stays still. But there's some really cool thinking involved with a knot. Yeah, I'm in a weird place in my life right now, aren't I? It's not a mental breakdown. It's not a midlife crisis. It's just, I don't know, all my life experience coming to this moment. And I think I'm finally me. Yeah. Little pause there just to take that in for myself more than for my listeners. But yeah, that's where I am right now. So that's the knots that are on my list. I've already mentioned the axes and knives. OSINT research. This is just open source doing research. I did something similar in one of the positions in my career. And then I had tools to be able to do it. So I used AI to figure out a good approach for building that for a home lab. I mean, a lot of people doing cybersecurity, they've got networks in their house and they're playing with different tools and doing vulnerability analysis and setting up malware and seeing what it does and creating sandboxes and seeing if they can do things to, prevent it from escaping. Just all these cyber related things. What I want to do is make a system where I can be secure, private, be able to research any topic I want without, not being the paranoid person that I really am. But, nobody's collecting data on that and coming to some conclusions that are incorrect about why I'm researching certain topics. Not that I'm planning to do anything wrong. I'm not going to be making bombs or something crazy. It's, I just don't want people to make false connections with the things that I'm interested in, because I'm interested in so many things. And I'm sure if you look at that without the right perspective, it might look strange or suspicious or something. I don't know. And again, it's just me being paranoid. That's from the roles I've had during my career. That's just my mindset is, I'm not paranoid. People are really out to get me, kind of thing. Not that I'm crazy prepper or anything like that either, but it's a nuance in my life. That's part of who I am. Yeah, I am a crazy mix of life influences here. So the next two are the big ones that are leading me toward the farming, and that's gardening, which I've done some videos with the grow house, the greenhouse, doing my seedlings, doing the herb garden. Those are growing nicely, by the way. I'm taking pictures every day, and I'm going to try to make a time lapse with that. So I'm trying to get the pictures in the same positions. I don't know how well that's going to work, but at least I can show a progression. I'm also, for the gardening this month, I'm planning to take, I did a garden in my backyard. During the pandemic, we did a little, I think 4 or 5 raised beds along the fence line, and it was enough for us to get out there and grow something and be able to eat the harvest from it when it produced. Didn't really do much else with it, but now that I've decided to be a farmer, I need practice. I need to try growing different things, cooking different things, learning how to deal with the bugs and putting a plant in shock by moving it too much, or not watering things correctly, and just being aware of the weather and just having some practical experience with growing things. So around last February, April, I started with my backyard garden. So I've been sending there's an office farm chat and a family farm chat that I send it over text and just send pictures and what I did during that week or that day. But now that I have a YouTube channel, I can share it that way. So I want to put together a kind of a retrospective of my first year, take the pictures and the videos and put it together, and not like a slideshow or like I went on a vacation and did something cool. It's the time capsule of my first year, and this is what I've learned, and this is what I was able to achieve this year, and how can I turn that into my goals for the next year. So before it's springtime and I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do next, I can figure out, hey, I did this, so what's the natural next thing for me to do? Or I grew this and that plot, so what crop should I rotate to enrich the soil? It's that regenerative farming thing that I'm trying to learn through my gardening. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm planning to do for the gardening goal for this month. For the farming, I want to. I'm not at a point where I'm actually going to do the farming, but I think as the community grows, I may make some of those contacts. I think that the algorithm is going to find an audience that is partial to farming or agriculture or nature, and I think that at some point I'll probably have some people in my comments say, "Hey, have you considered this?" My wife sent me a Facebook post about a Maryland extension program. I have a conflict for it, so I can't do this one, but I know it exists, and I might be able to sign up for it next time. Stuff like that. I mean, just opportunities to learn the skills that I'm going to need. So for the farming, what I would like to do is, I want to maybe make a video about some of the concepts that mean something to me in my planning for the future, doing farming, working with agriculture, getting my harvest to consumers in a way that's natural and healthy and benefits everybody involved if I can. So maybe an intro video to this is what regenerative farming means, or these are things that you can do in your daily life to help improve things, composting, recycling, not necessarily recycling, but things along those lines, things you can do that are regenerative, sustaining, that help nature in some way. So I think I can do that to kind of keep that mindset of what I want to do with the farming and the agriculture business in the future. I would say near future. I don't know. It's about 3 years. I don't know. Is that long term, short term? It's perspective. It's going to be here before I know it. So I'm trying to make every day count. I'm at, I think, 1,000, and I don't know if I give the exact date, and then technically it kind of gives away my birthday. But yeah, it's a little over 1,000 days until I will be 55, and then we'll be moving to South Carolina sometime after that. That's kind of the starting point. It won't be that date, but probably the beginning of the next year, somewhere around early 2029 is probably when we'll actually move. And it depends on selling the house and finding property and a lot of different variables, but I'm sure all of that will work out. I'm putting a lot of thought and planning into it, and then just natural events will shape the rest of it, and things will work out the way they should. So that's the farming goals for February. And then the YouTube, and I've mentioned trying to do the 4 videos per week. I don't think I'll have any issue with that if I'm tracking all my monthly resolutions and making the videos on the garden and the farming stuff and tying knots and bow ties and all that fun stuff. I think I've got more than enough ideas to have plenty of content to get 4 videos every week easily. It's just a matter of how much time can I devote to producing those videos. And so far, it's not as time consuming because I'm using the right tools to do the job. That's, I think, where the AI is really helping to streamline some of the processes that were very time consuming a year or 2 ago. I can come up with thumbnails and the titles, which are like things that people would just dwell on for days. I can do that in a matter of minutes and come up with something that should get attention at some point once the algorithm figures out who my audience is. Yeah, that's one of the advice things too, is don't think algorithm, think, audience. It's not that the algorithm is against you, it's that it's in YouTube's benefit to find your audience, because that's when they can put ads in front of people so that they can get revenue and everybody wins. You get good products at good prices and deals, and you get entertained in the process. I get to develop a channel, and YouTube gets to expand their business and make a profit, sell more ads. So I mean, it's like a win-win-win situation. So I mean, I think that's amazing. Yeah, and not that this would ever be sponsored by YouTube since it's a YouTube channel, but I mean, I respect what YouTube does as far as giving people the opportunity to be self-employed, to have a goal, a dream, and do something about it by putting content out there, being creative. That's just one of the coolest things ever, and I want to be a part of it, and I finally am this month. All right. So the next thing on my list, since I've gone through my February goals, is forming an LLC. I've mentioned that a couple times already, but that's my way of taking my YouTube start and turning it into future business that I will be doing for the rest of my life. And part of the LLC is it's a willable kind of thing. So when I pass, as long as I've built something that can continue, I'm building a legacy for future generations potentially. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to share the website once it's out there, and just have the community help me to turn that into something that, I don't know, grows into something amazing. Yeah, profitable, but profitable with a purpose of being able to help people. I don't think it'll be like a nonprofit kind of thing, but it'll be a business that's focused on helping the community, because that's who I am and that's what I want my company to be. So yeah, so that's the form of the LLC. Like I said, I'm still waiting on the official word that it is like approved by Maryland. At some point I'll have to go through the process to move it to South Carolina, and I've already researched that. There's a couple of ways of doing it, and I think I figured out exactly how I want to do it. It's just a matter of what does the business look at the point that I transition, and some of the other variables there. And then future plans, I think I've covered that pretty well. Yeah, I'm at the end of my list of topics that I was going to cover, which is good because I'm at 2 hours and 15 minutes and it's 2 a.m. and I should probably get some sleep because I'm going to be dealing with power tools and axes and knives tomorrow. I should probably be rested, especially when it's still going to be super cold out in the garage. So yeah, future plans. Well, short-term plans is to get some sleep tonight. Future plans, I think I've covered that in detail, and personal stories. And yeah, that's the last one, is my story. And I don't know, I think if anybody had the patience to actually watch this entire video, which I don't expect anybody to watch this entire video, but I do plan to take parts of this video and make shorter videos with it that are, smaller bite-sized pieces instead of this long 2+ hour, just not ramble, because I had a little structure to it, but yeah, it was a ramble. I'll be honest there. It was kind of all over the place. I was sharing a lot of things. But like I said, it's been an amazing month. January is just like one of those months that I will look back on in years and think that's when my life changed. That's when I took those first steps. Yeah, in the another little side story, just to not keep this going, but to share more. There's one of the videos that I made, one of the unlisted videos that's part of that Choose Your Own Adventure. And part of the inspiration for that specific video was you enter the beast lair. I don't know if you try out my Choose Your Own Adventure. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments in there because I really am curious what people think of it, because I want to do more with that concept, but it didn't get a whole lot of interaction yet, so I haven't been able to learn the lessons to make it better. But yeah, one of the videos was the beast lair, and part of that is there's a video that I linked to as one of the choices at the end. Is you can watch this video of Mr. Beast, the message, the video that he left himself. He was supposed to be studying for a test, and so he left himself a message, like a time capsule. He scheduled it so that it would go public in 10 years from that date. So I don't even know if you can do one that far out now. I haven't tried, but I'm going to do the similar kind of things. But I linked to his video in that video, and just, left in the comments, what message would you leave yourself in 10 years? And that's kind of what I'm thinking there. That's the little segue why I'm telling the story. Is I was thinking, hey, if I want to be able to look back in 10 years, if I left myself that video, and where am I now in 10 years because of the things I did today? And I think starting this YouTube channel and trying to build this community is one of the reasons why I will be where I am in 10 years. So I don't know. If you watch that video, leave a comment, because I am really curious how people think of that, because I think I have not a different perspective, but I have my perspective, and I would like people to share their perspectives on that, because I don't know. It's one of those things that fascinates me, which most things fascinate me right now. Yeah, probably not going to go into it at the end of this video, but yeah, I've got some major changes coming in my career. That something happened this last week, and I will be looking for a different position. Same company, not fired or anything, but I need to find a new position. So that's going to take up a lot of my time and thought and emotional capacity over the next month or so until I'm settled into a new position. So bear with me if that affects my videos or personality or mood when I'm doing these videos. I really don't think it will, because I just kind of rolled with it, because I've got this amazing YouTube thing that kind of balances out any negative in my life right now. I'm in a really good place. I've told people if this happened to me a year ago, I would be devastated. But now I'm in a better place, and I want to continue to grow from that, share that, help other people do the same. So I know I'm just way too optimistic right now, but benefit from my overabundant optimism. Watch this video when you're feeling down. Let it lift your spirits. I don't know, put a comment in. I'll respond to it. We can have a conversation. I probably will do things to where I'm outreaching more to my community once there's more of a community to reach out to. So good things coming. All right. Yeah, like 2 hours and 20 minutes of like raw footage from being live. I should probably end it here. Get some sleep. I got to get rested before I'm, like I said, dealing with power tools and sharp things tomorrow. So thank you for anybody who watches this after I make it go public. No one has actually joined the live stream, but I didn't expect them to. This was as much for me to get the comfort level, to learn the skills, to share, to create raw footage that I can use for other things. And partly just to play with my new Blue Yeti microphone. Just like the best present I've given myself in I don't know how long. It's just, I love it. It's something simple, but man, this just means the world to me. Okay. Thank you for watching. If anybody ever watches this, I'm sure somebody will at some point, because I know I have binged plenty of YouTubers' content back to their earliest videos. So someday somebody will watch this, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, I'm going to end it there. Shouldn't end a video without a call to action. So subscribe, join the community, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking, what you good advice, bad advice. Just let me know what you're thinking watching my videos. Am I doing things horrible and you want to tell me how I'm just deluded or going through a mental crisis or something? Share any comments you want to make. I'm open to. And I know you're not supposed to give too many calls to action, but I don't know, maybe share the channel with somebody else, somebody you think could enjoy some optimism in their life and watch some 52-year-old try out new things like throwing knives at a piece of wood. Yeah, this is going to be quite the journey. You're all welcome to join me. Thanks for watching. Now I got to figure out how to stop this thing. All right, I think I just stop. Press the obvious red button. All right, see you next time.